We've been rocking out all week, throwing sunshine, not shade, 'cause we're all queens. But this is more than just a summer thing. Together forever, girls rock St. Pete. I know that it's hard sometimes to be yourself and speak your mind, but you know it'll be alright, because you got me by your side. Powerful women, we blow people's minds. When we're together, we will rise. Be who you wanna be in the Girls Rock Camp family. Created rock 'cause she's on a roll, taking back what they stole. Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta. We believe our voices need to be amplified. We believe in shining with our creative minds. We believe in standing up for our own rights. We believe that history is made by you and I. Powerful women, we blow people's minds. When we're together, we will rise. Be who you wanna be in the Girls Rock Camp family. Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? This world is forcing me to hold your hand, 'cause I'm just a girl, a little lonely. Well, don't let me out of your sight. Oh, I'm just a girl, all pretty and petite, so don't let me have any rights. Whoa, I've had it up to here. Moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. Can't do the little things I hold so dear. It's all those little things that I fear. 'Cause I'm just a girl, I'd rather not be, 'cause they won't let me drive late at night. Oh, I'm just a girl, guess I'm some kind of freak, 'cause they all sit and stare with their eyes. Oh, I'm just a girl, take a good look at me, just your typical prototype. Oh, I've had it up to here. Oh, am I making myself clear? I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that you'll let me be. Oh, I'm just a girl living in captivity. Your rule of thumb makes me worrisome. Oh, I'm just a girl. What's my destiny? What I've succumbed to is making me numb. Oh, I'm just a girl.
let's give it up for Anarchitty, Girls Rock St. Pete. I want to give thanks to Anarchitty and Girls Rock St. Pete for starting off our service. They're going to be playing at the end of the service as well. So stick around if you want more hard rock music. During the service, we're going to have all a cappella. So we're going to have both ends of the spectrum today. We want to give thanks to Jesse Miller, who's the leader of Girls Rock St. Pete, and they're going to be here opening an office, Girls Rock St. Pete, here at Allendale. So we welcome you. We also want to recognize those that were here this week for Sing Fest. Stand if you were a part of Sing Fest. Great. The music, the message today is going to be led by the participants of Sing Fest. We're very excited for Linda and Rissa, who will be leading music along with Dylan, and Minister Albie, who will be giving the message. Thank you, Shelley, the organizer of Sing Fest. Sing Fest is an annual event. Women from all over the country have come together because they know the power of music. So thank you so much for your presence here and being a part of the larger Allendale community. This morning, we come together from a lot of different places with a lot of different hurts and joys on our hearts. We come together seeking solidarity with one another, and it's in music where we find solidarity and healing in this magic of music. So in that spirit, let us join together, especially with so many visitors today. Let us join together in these words that were written to make sure that anyone that would enter this space would know immediately from the very beginning that they are beloved. Let's join together in these words of welcome. Allendale United Methodist Church is a reconciling congregation. We affirm the sacred worth of all people and strive to practice Christ's example of unconditional love without exclusion. All are welcome to participate fully in the life and ministries of this congregation. Whatever your race, ethnicity, economic situation, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, background or belief, age or condition of ableness, whether single or partnered, you are God's beloved and are welcome here. God calls us to acts of love, grace, and advocacy to promote healing and reconciliation. We are building a new Allendale, a place without barriers, a sanctuary for all.
I'll sing a line, you sing a line. We are one with each other, we are one with all life.
We are one with each other, we are one with all life.
We are one with the mother, we are one with the light.
We are one with the mother, we are one with the light.
We are one with the forest and all the sea and sky.
We are one with the forest and all the sea and sky.
We are one with each other, we are one, you and I.
We are
one with all people.
We are one, you and I.
All people. Okay, now you got it. Follow the words up there. Not me. Ready? We are one with each other. We are one with all life. We are one with the mother. We are one with the light. We are one with the forest and all the sea and sky. We are one with all people. We are one, you and I. We are one with each other. We are one with all life. We are one with the mother. We are one with the light. We are one with the forest and all the sea and sky. We are one with all people. We are one, you and I. We are one with each other. We are one with all life. We are one and all the sea and sky. We are one with all people. We are one, you and I.
Good morning. My name is Bobby Windle. My pronouns are she and her. And I'm going to go a little off script here for a minute. I received a text from a dear friend of all of ours here at the church, Donna Baxley, yesterday. And we all know she's been going through chemo, and it's been quite a trial for her. And she texted and said she was going to be with us all this morning, watching, and she was going to wave. And in a solidarity of love and compassion, I would like us all to wave back. We miss you, Donna. Love you. Okay, now we'll get back down to business. Cameron said it was working. Warmongers want us pointing fingers.
We make music while
Marching, holding hands. Evildoers want us hopeless.
But we make music, bringing each other to a time of waymaking.
Oppressors want us fractured.
But we make music, making ourselves into a quilt, stained glass.
We will make music celebrating the ways we have found one another. And planes away, our songs reach out. It is a lie that we do not belong to one another.
The magic of music accompanies those who love truth.
The following prayer is adapted from Fiesta as an Act of Resistance by Reverend Lydia Munoz. Let us pray. O love, the psalmist asks, how can we sing the songs of God while in a foreign land? Your people ask this because they were in exile, but even more because the oppressors were asking the artists, the songwriters, the creative class to use their own culture to entertain those in power. How could they sing the songs of freedom and resistance in a foreign land? Today, our queer, Black, and Latinx songs of freedom are used to entertain our oppressors. How can we sing the song of freedom in a foreign land? O creator of music, you teach us while in the exile, in the margins, there is always music. There is always dancing. And through the fiesta, we have found a way to keep our heads up, our people smiling, our people dancing. Through the stomping of our feet, we keep making the structures of evil shake and the corrupted governments tremble. Our people can sing even when our hearts are broken, because our hope for freedom never ends. O rhythm of love who won't let us go, how can we stop singing? That is the way we resist evil. Our song of freedom and hope is the only thing the oppressors can't take away from us, so we resist every time we vogue, every time we dance sambomba, every time we move our hips to the rhythm of our joyful music. This is not a hope that speaks about everything is going to be all right. It is a song that speaks more to the fact that even when things go wrong, we come from a long history of joy in the midst of impossible times. We are resilient. Our spirit is unbreakable. Our freedom is coming, and it will happen through the persistence of those that keep celebrating life in the midst of death as we celebrate a new reality within our feet. Amen.
Amen.
sing a line, you sing a line. I belong to you. I belong to you. You belong to me. You
belong to me.
We all belong to each other, and that sets us free.
We all belong to each other,
and that sets us free. We belong to the earth and to the shining sun. We all belong to the earth and to the shining sun. We all belong to each other, yes, everyone. We all belong
to each other,
yes, everyone.
I belong to you. You belong to me.
We all belong to each other, and that sets us free. We belong to the earth and to the shining sun. We all belong to each other, yes, everyone. I belong to you. You belong to me. We all belong to each other, and that sets us free. We belong to the earth and to the shining sun. We all belong to each other, yes, everyone. I belong to you. You belong to me. We all belong to each other, and that sets us free. We belong to the earth and to the shining sun. We all belong to each other, yes, everyone.
Can I have all of our children come up here? All of our children, come on up. Where's our, yeah, come on up. Hi, what's your name? Hi, Sophia. And we have Elijah coming up right now too, with a ball. Wow. Awesome. Elijah, you're gonna be really excited because this is about one of your favorite songs. If you'll stand up here. Did you know you can make music with our bodies? What are some ways that we can make music with our bodies? With our throat, good one. Elijah, do you remember this? Good job. You can also clap. Can we clap? Yeah. And then sometimes we can use instruments, like Mr. Dylan's gonna show us. And that's a rhythm. That was good. And then you can sing, and you can clap, and you can dance. Isn't that super cool? What's our favorite song?
Let it go.
That's a good song.
Blaze.
Blaze? I don't know that song. By Pharrell? Oh. Elijah taught me a song, and it goes, lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, lollipop, okay? Yeah, Dylan's gonna do the beat, and we're gonna say, lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop. Lolly, lollipop, 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 oh lolly, lollipop. Do it. Good job! Alrighty, you can go to your adults now. Thank you for singing with us.
Okay. Little party trick there. So I drove in back to town today. I've been at Zora Fest over paying tribute to Zora Neale Hurston over in Eatonville. Eatonville is the first incorporated municipality after slavery here in Florida, just outside Orlando. And one of the important things that's happening in Eatonville right now is the Orange County School Board is trying to steal and sell a huge parcel of their land that was set aside for the education of black children, and they're trying to sell it for luxury condos. And I just want to make sure that you're aware that this isn't an isolated incident. This is an example of systemic racism. African Americans, despite making up 13% of the population, own less than 1% of rural land in the country. From the 1920s to today, the percentage of black landowners steadily dropped from 14% to 1.3% today. That is because of systems that many of us in this room have benefited from. Systems that are in place that have to change. And one place where that's happening is in Eatonville, where lawsuits have prevented the sale of the land, but we have to keep fighting. So pay attention. If you don't know who Zora Neale Hurston is, you have homework to do when you go home and read her writings. She was an anthropologist who would travel across Florida. She would show up at these work camps, and these work camps would be filled with men, many of whom were kind of on the very fringe of society, and some of them escaping the law or were there because of extreme poverty. And she would want to collect stories, but they weren't sure they could trust her. So she would get her guitar out and start playing. And still, they weren't sure they could trust her. And so then she told them that she was a bootlegger on the run. And then they shared their stories. And those stories made up her books that are so rich. Their Eyes Were Watching God and many others. And so Zora Neale Hurston is someone very important that we need to know and to read, to know the stories, to know our history, and so that we don't repeat it. Today, as we transition to a time of offering, I want to invite you, if you are here in person and wish to make an offering, you can get up during the next song and visit the offering box, or you can join those online at allendaleumc.org/give. Offerings that help us to do things like provide space for Sing Fest, and we're so happy that y'all are here. So let us organize our way to a hopeful present and a vibrant future. Let us co-create places to sing, to play, to grieve, to heal. So come, beloveds. We will plant seeds of possibility with our songs. Together, we will pull the weeds of oppression and tend to the ways of life. Let us receive our tithes and offerings.
Hey, everybody. Okay, some of us have done this song before, but for those who haven't, this is Another World, and it's really simple, and we'd love it if you guys would join us in song. And it goes like this. Another world is not just possible, it's on its way. Your turn. And another
world, it's not just possible.
Yeah.
It's on
Y'all sound good. One more time. Another world world is not just possible, it's on its way. Another world is not just possible, it's on its way. And I can see the children, I can hear creation. It's not just possible, it's on its way. Sing it out. I can see the children, I can hear creation. It's not just possible, it's on its way. Another world is not just possible, it's on its way. Another world is not just possible, it's on its way. I can hear creation, I can hear creation. It's not just possible, it's on its way. I can see the children, I can hear creation. It's not just possible, it's on its way. One more time. Another world is not just possible, it's on its way. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all so much. This morning I have a poem for you by one of our own Allendale members, Rose Cervantes. It's called Suggestions for the Queue. I bite down on my words, sending them back to my heartstrings. If I could ladle you into a message in a bottle, the ink would blur as soon as the music begins to pick up. I beg you, pluck me with your calloused fingers like a worn-out violin. I tell you where I need to be touched. Please pick me up again. Listen to the bridge, the symphony of buzzing street lamps. The horn sits with me in the velvet and standstill traffic. If I could dance you back into a song, trust me, I would. Don't pause, repeat, play with me. Don't skip me on the shuffle just because you know every word. I want this song to remind you of me, not where you left me, where you found me. Volume down, the queue can't end, not like this. I'll wait for the bridge, the one we sang into existence in the car, holding hands and missing an exit off the highway. Music doesn't die, people do. Music doesn't love, people do. I'll wait for you, I'll wait for the bridge, if that means I get another chance to dance with you.
I spent a weekend at an event much like Singfest, and on the drive home we heard of the shooting at the Pulse nightclub, and this song came. I'll sing a line, you sing a line. In a world that may try to bring me down, in a world that may try to bring me down, with an undertow of fear and hate so strong, with an undertow of fear and hate so strong, I moor myself to people of love. I moor myself to people of love, and we buoy ourselves with song, and we buoy ourselves with song. Songs of hope and light and love. Songs of hope and light and love. Songs that keep our heads above. Songs that keep our heads above. Breathing the air of freedom and peace. Breathing the air of freedom and peace. Singing the air of freedom and peace. Singing the air of freedom and peace. that keep our heads above, breathing the air of freedom and peace, singing the air of freedom and peace. In a world that may try to bring me down, with an undertow of fear and hate so strong, I moor myself to people of love, and we buoy ourselves with song. Songs of hope and light and love, songs that keep our heads above, breathing the air of freedom and peace, singing the air of freedom and peace.
Today's scripture reading is a modern remix adapted by Reverend M.J. Kaiser. It comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 12 through 26. Indeed, the body does not consist of one part, but of many. If the singer would say, "Because I'm not a bridge builder, I do not belong to the work of common good," that would not make them any less needed. And if the one who bears witness and holds stories would say, "Because I am not a dynamic speaker, I do not belong to the work of the common good," that would not make them any less needed either. If the whole body were listeners, there would be the ones who tell the truth. Where would the ones who tell the truth be? If the only ones who are valued in the work of love are those with money to give, who would be the ones to practice civil disobedience for us when the evil won't budge? Who will teach our children in the ways of justice and compassion? Who will nourish our bodies, feed us, offer us touch, tend to our wounds? Who will provide us with music that our labor may be accompanied with dancing? Will we find laughter anywhere to sustain our spirits if the whole body were not but listeners? Each of us are needed, and each of us have offerings to bring. If we were all the same, what could we achieve? How would we survive? How dull an endeavor would this be? The business person cannot say to the activist, "I have no need of you," nor can the doctor say to the poet, "I need you not." On the contrary, the members of the body that society deems least significant are those most needed. We respect the disrespected. We recognize the value of the quiet ones, the strange ones, the misunderstood, the misrepresented, and under-resourced ones. We lift them up and honor them, that the whole body might thrive. If any of us suffer, all of us suffer. If any of us have cause to rejoice, we all celebrate. Provide us with music that our labor may be accompanied with dancing to sustain our spirits.
Good morning. A poem by Atana O. Danner. In darkness, all things are possible. Realize that we were taught to fear the dark. Consider the seed that splits and unfurls unseen within the earth. Consider the inside of an egg. Consider the place where the Big Bang exploded. Unknown and generative, darkness is unpredictable. limitless possibility. We are in the habit of learning to fear our potential, but imagine embracing rest and dreams. We learned early to believe in the witness of certain magic and light, and blackness of certain arts and hearts. Confronted with the sky and its stars, I must reject this entire premise. Remind me, siblings, to unlearn these bad habits and accept the gifts that I've been given. Darkness is free and abundant. There is joy in unfurling from the shadows we were made in. We need only close our eyes to go home.
Good morning. Good morning. It's been a very long weekend. My name is Alberita Johnson. You can call me Minister Albie. First, I want to say thank you to Allendale, to Reverend Andy, to everyone here in this congregation that makes SingFest possible for us. We came, we took over your church, your congregation, we used many rooms, we got busy in your kitchen, and we just took over. And our hosts were wonderful, especially Cameron. Thank you so much over there. He put in some very long hours for us. I bring you greetings from All Faiths Unitarian Universalist congregation where I serve as the interim minister there. You can just call me Albie. I want to let you know that last year this time, I was lost trying to find my way into the campus, and I'm outside wandering about. I found the office. I wasn't sure if that was the sign, but it was, and I got inside, and there was Reverend Andy. He took me around, he's showing me everything, and I'm enjoying it and whatnot. And somewhere in our conversation, he says to me, are you doing a workshop? I said, yes, I'm going to be doing a workshop tomorrow. Oh, well, what workshop? Well, I'll be doing a poetry workshop. And just like that, oh, would you like to share a poem or a Sunday service? Well, I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I want to say no. I mean, they're such gracious hosts. We're here. What do I say? So I thought of a nice minister type of thing to say, and I said, well, what is the service going to be about? You know, because you don't want to say yes, because you may not have a poem that fits the service. So yeah, I thought of my nice, smart thing, thinking maybe I can weasel out of it somehow. And wouldn't you know it, the service was about church, of course. And it was about a history of church. And I had a poem that was absolutely perfect, so I could not say no. I had a poem that was called Sacred. But in my original draft, I called it The Cathedral. So definitely it would fit. So on Sunday, I pulled myself up. I shook off my nervousness, which is what I'm doing right now. And it was my turn. I came up here and I shared that poem. And no, I will not be sharing it with you right now because we have other things to do today. Well, I thought that I would need all of this, but with this right in front of me, it looks kind of odd. I'm just going to move it over here, if that's okay. All right. So this long month of January, it always seems to catch me off guard. I don't know about you all. We get through so much. Okay. I know that January comes right after December and before February. But for some reason, I get in January and it's here. It's the new year. I think it's the lights. I don't know about you all, but we have the Hanukkah lights. We have the Christmas lights. We have the Kwanzaa lights. And then we move on and we move on. And what happens then? We have the New Year and we have really big lights. And then finally, boom, it's a new year. And January is here. I think that's why it catches me off guard. So I start to settle down just about around January 12th. I'm settling down and I'm thinking, what's coming up next? SingFest, a big long weekend. Albie, are you going to do this? Are you going to share a poetry workshop, which is what I do here when I show up at Sing Fest. And it is wonderful. And we have all these participants, and the women write poems. They get nervous and say stuff like, I can't write a poem. I've never written a poem. But when they leave my workshop, they're poets. Poetry emerges from within. This is something I always tell them. So today, I'm not going to talk about poetry, but I am going to talk about music. We're going to talk about the magic of music. I'm going to tell you, a few years ago, I used to write blogs, and I'm writing my blogs, and I came up with this blog called The Magic of Music. So I write it, I put it out there, and you know, I don't know if anybody does these things, but I put it out there for the whole public to see. Well, so many people commented. I got all of these likes and questions and everything, and I thought, ooh, I need to share this a little more often. Maybe I should talk about it, and people just don't have to read it. So I'm going to give you little bits of excerpts from my blog and weave it in with what partook of this weekend. So here we go. Oh, the joy of sound, of harmony, of music and song. Yeah, I can't remember when my love affair with the magic of music began, but I am absolutely sure that it started at a young age. I don't know about you all, but for me, I can remember my family dancing and singing to the Motown sounds. And I remember even when I was younger, I don't know if you remember the classic Looney Tune cartoons, but I remember those classics. So we got hand raises. Okay, that's good. Participation is always good. So here I'm thinking about Looney Tunes, classic Looney Tunes. And what did you hear in classic Looney Tunes? What was that music like? It was always classical music in the background. You know, I don't know what happened, but somehow or another we got away from certain things. But cartoons used to always sneak lessons on you if you really paid attention to them. I didn't realize I was catching classical music and that I was going to start to actually like it. But I did. So we danced to the Motown song. We watched cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes, and all of those wonderful things. And what about Hollywood musicals? I used to stay up late at night. Used to come on around 11 o'clock at night in the summer, and I would watch those musicals. And there, I would watch Fred Astaire dancing and all of that. But what really caught me were the standards. There was always standards. They would sing these beautiful songs, and I was like, oh, I was caught up. I was young, but the magic of music was already taking effect. For me, there are no boundaries in music. You know, I've heard it said that music speaks all languages. None of us here can say, I don't speak music. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. We heard the kids, right? They can make music, they can clap, stomp their feet, they can move, they can dance. Oh, music, you speak it. Even if you say, I can't dance, I can't sing a note, but you understand it clearly. Indeed, I agree. It's not just said, but it is true. Music speaks all languages. And despite it being universal, the experience of music, well, there's still so much that we don't know. A lot of it. Some things that, you know, we think about. When was the last time you were laying around or just walking, doing some mundane task, maybe you were sweeping or something, and you're going along, and all of a sudden there's this song in your mind. And it follows you all day long. It just keeps playing, it's on record, rewind, no matter what you do. You start telling people, I got a song stuck in my mind. I can't stop this song. And you think, what can I do about this? I have to get rid of the song. Well, the famed anthropologist Claude Levi-Strauss once said that music is the supreme mystery of human knowledge. So, what in the world does all that mean? Well, I'm thinking about how can I put this together? The supreme wisdom of knowledge. Wow. But what about that song stuck in your head? That doesn't sound like anything wisdom. It's just following me about. I don't even like the song. But for some reason, it's like watching a commercial or something. You know how now we can mute a commercial. But we remember back in the day, you had to actually get up and go over to the TV and turn it down. So now we just mute it, and if you're really slick, we've recorded it so we can just fast forward. But you can't do it. Commercial songs, any music, it can get stuck in your mind. Well, that's a phenomenon. Well, you know, scientists, they thought, we got to figure out this thing. Why does this happen? And we all want to know, why is this song stuck in my head? Oh my God, I can't stop singing this song. Well, they did all of these studies, and they came up and they said, it's a phenomenon. Really? Yes, a phenomenon, yes. And they gave it a name. It's called an earworm. So the next time you get your song going in your mind, you could just try to get that worm out. I don't know, you know. It makes me think of other things like some kind of strange parasite stuck in your leg you have to pull out. People that travel, they all know about that. Well, what can we do? What can we do about the earworm? Well, they said, well, we're going to study this a little bit more so we can figure out what can be done about the earworm. So they said, we're going to set it up. And as they should have thought of, because they have great minds, it's a very hard study. No one knows when you're going to get a song stuck in your mind. You have no idea when it's going to happen, how long it's going to be there, if you like the song or don't like the song, but it happens. So they had a hard time studying. What are we going to do? It occurs when your mind is zoned out. It was hard to figure it out, so they kind of just gave up. It's an earworm, and that's just the way it is. So, if it happens to you, you can try all your might, but until you try to replace it with another song that you may or may not like, you're stuck with the song. There was no way to make it stop. There's been additional studies for those who say, oh, I can't sing. I'm tone deaf. I have no idea. I just can't do it. Oh, I can't sing. Oh, if I open my mouth, glass will shatter. Everyone would run out of the room. Oh, hello. Okay. Now, there is a difference between being pitch challenged and having an untrained singing voice. So don't get them mixed up. They're different. There is an inability to follow a tune or to differentiate between pitches, and it also has a name. It's called amusia, A-M-U-S-I-A, and researchers went about trying to figure out about that. They did a little better with this one, and they found out that 1 in every 20 people, so you can kind of count yourselves, 1 in every 20 people just can't sing. Yeah, they don't know what's good. They don't hear the tones. They can't figure it out. You know, you say, ooh, they go, ooh. No. Ooh, they don't get it. You know, and it is real. That definitely does happen. So for those of you who say, I can't do it, we now believe you. You see, the effects of music and melody has on people and animals is indeed mysterious. It speaks to us. It's mysterious. It gets stuck inside of us. We claim that we can't do it, and it is so. But at the same time, we just kind of like drawn to it. What is it? Again, it's that international language. Well, today, being the last Sunday of January, and 3 days from now we move into February, which just happens to be Black History Month, I thought, well, I'm going to talk about music, but I'm going to talk about music through the lenses of Black African Americans here in the United States. So we're going to trace music back to that great continent that I call the motherland. And we're going to see the contributions of the rich musical history that African Americans contributed here in the United States. There's a timeline in African American music that started all the way back when we first got here. We're going to go with the 1600s. It can be traced back to the very first arrival. As the Africans were enslaved here, they brought with them their rhythms that they practiced in their own land, in their own tribes, when at work and at play. Rhythms in Africa are ways of talking and communicating. It's an amazing thing. You know, we think about when you go back and we watch, ooh, look at those kids there. Remember that movie, Breakdancing? And there's some kids and they were like, you know, so they were having like a gang fight. But instead of duking it out, which is what is happening these days, they would kind of get in front of each other and dance out. Could you imagine? We're having a dance off, and whoever wins, I don't know what the prize was, but it was much better than harming one another. So music and dance is integral to African Americans and indigenous to Africa. In studying and in my research, I've learned that there are 3 tracks we can follow when we're looking at music from African Americans: the secular instrumental, and sacred. Now, we all know about sacred music because so many people are accustomed to African Americans and our sacred gospel music. Oh, we rock, we sway, we hymn. People are accustomed to it. Well, we went from humming African American rhythms to work and field songs. We started putting words to them. Moved into street calls, or what we call here in the United States, call and response. But for us, it was street calls. Hey, 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 what's up, what's up? You knew how to respond. I remember my very first text message, my nephew, he's about 15 years old, and he sends me a text message, Z-U-P, sup. And I thought, Z-U-P, I realized he was saying to me, what's up? So I knew to respond, fine, thank you, which is probably what he was not expecting, but that's how it is. Okay. So we went from call and response to protest songs and syncopated dance. We saw some wonderful dancing last night. And I'll tell you this, if dancing hurts, you're probably not dancing. You're exercising, because it's not supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be enjoyable. So if you're hurting yourself in dance, I don't know if it's such a good thing. That's just my opinion. Okay, so what I just said to you, again, field songs, rhythms and work songs, street calls, call and response, syncopated dance, the secular. There were folk spirituals like swing, sweet low, sweet chariot, something I do not like so much. A lot of times you go to college, particularly HBCUs, and it's mandatory that you learn African American spirituals, and they're absolutely wonderful. And they were really wonderful then, way back then. But when you pull it forward, I don't know if I'm not really sure if I enjoy swinging low and sweet chariot. So yeah, I listen to them, I hear them, I know their history, but they don't comfort me like they must have comforted those when they first came out. So, spirituals, they led to rural and gospel music, the sacred. Syncopated brass bands came along, secular instrumental. But just for a little while, I want to talk about magic, because the name of my message today is The Magic of Music. For me, music is pervasive. It gets inside of you. It gets inside of me. And when we're in our youth, we tend to remember the lyrics and the rhythms, even though we may not understand all of the words, but we hear them, so we just say them. And this is what we do when we are small. We don't comprehend what those lyrics or melodies are expressing, but eventually, as we mature, the memory of those words and that rhythm, they start to take on meaning. Somehow we begin to learn from it. It becomes something that we recognize. It becomes sweet, a sweet familiarity. The question is, why do we like it so much? What is it that draws us to music, sound, and melody? We hear it all the time. Words not simply spoken, but made into melody, becoming lyrical. But what are we really receiving on the end if we are not the ones giving it? When I think more about children, I know children experience music. I know they learn something from music, just as we adults do. With our adults, we have our emotions. We become truly engaged. We plug in. But our children, they may not quite understand all of these words. They like the rhythms. They want to move around and do stuff with it. Sometimes I think that all that energy is wasted on them, but I would like to take some, but they won't give it to me. I can't take it from them. They will do it in front of me, but they just won't let me have it. You see, my friends, music brings us to tears at times. This is how it would touch us, but not a child. Their emotions, their thought patterns, they're just not that complex yet. And yet the rhythms, the metrical sound, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. tends to calm them. They'll go right off to sleep with just that music is speaking to your infants. I personally believe there is a lesson here. Music brings them, our babies, and us, peace. A peace settles in you. I believe the peace and relief found in music soothe our unchained and chained settlers, as well as the indigenous people here in the United States. There's a writer. His name is Stephen Lewis. He wrote for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And in his article, he gives us 3 points about the influence of African American music. I'll share it with you really quick. African American influence are so fundamental to American music that there would be no American music without them. I know, sounds amazing. I didn't say it. The rich African musical heritage that their ancestors carried with them was part of the foundation of a new American musical culture that mixed African traditions with those of Europe and the Americas. 3, the work songs, dance tunes, and religious music, and the syncopated swing, remixed rock and rap music of their descendants would become, now here's a word, or the 2 words, the lingua franca of American music, eventually influencing Americans of all racial and ethnic backgrounds. I'll tell you what that means. Lingua franca, L-I-N-G-U-A, franca, F-R-A-N-C-A, a language that is adopted as common language between speakers whose native languages are different. Like if you go to Jamaica, patois. Some people will call it a mother tongue. Creole when you go to Haiti. The native indigenous people. We find ways of communicating, like my nephew, sup. It's strange, but we do it. A lingua franca. I believe music is the mother tongue, the language spoken by the masses, and at times this language is without words, and we call it instrumentals or music without explicit meaning. But somehow, again, it speaks to our emotions and unlocks mysteries within our soul, and we respond. We dance, we sway, we hum, we write, we put lyrics together, and then we sing them. We dedicate them to each other. We honor our God, our goddesses, and other deities in music, song, and dance. It permeates. We even go to war in melody and prepare for it in harmony. We build instruments to make music and will readily use any tool we can find to make music, including our own bodies. Stephen Lewis further shares that some of our most common instruments were brought to the Americas by Black Americans during the African diaspora and what I call the very long night of slavery. Now, one of those instruments, and I was so surprised when I found this out, was the banjo. I just could not imagine Black folks and a banjo. And who would have thought? Yeah, you should laugh. We should laugh. We should not always be so stuffy. It's a good thing to come and be happy. So one of those was a banjo, although the earliest banjos were likely based on West African lutes, which is what they were called there. You see, my friends, the lute was one of the most important instruments in early African American music. Surprise, surprise. And though seldom associated with African Americans in this contemporary culture that we are in now, it is a classic example of the way that African Americans blended African and European musical traditions together in the United States. And over the course of centuries, banjo makers gradually adopted their instruments to conform to European tuning systems, resulting in a truly American instrument that incorporated Western music theory, even as its design recalled its African models. And in the late 19th century, African American musicians combined popular songs and marches with African American folk forms like ragtime, sacred music, and the blues to create a new form of heavily syncopated improv music. We call it jazz. Yeah, that's what we call it. We call it jazz. And today, jazz occupies such a central place in the America's cultural heritage that many fans and scholars call it America's classical music. So how about that? We have our own classical music. Don't mess with America, okay? America, our own classical music. And like traditional classical music, many of us have a love-hate relationship with it. You know, you go to a jazz concert, it seems to be boring. It's like, what do I do? It's almost the same thing if you go to a classical music concert. It's like, what do I do? So you just sit and listen. You know, you're not gonna pop up and start clapping and dancing on it. You know, so you're just like watching. So this is why we go to jazz concerts, because you could just wander around the fields and out in the park and you can hear the music, you might stop and sit down. But this is the reason why. We enjoy it, but we sometimes have trouble plugging in. It's that love-hate relationship. Oh, and let us not forget rock and roll. The roots of rock and roll also lay in African American music, in the forms of blues and gospel. As the great African American migration brought many African Americans to the cities of the North, and the sounds of rhythm and blues began to attract the suburban teens. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Oh yeah, we migrated and we went north and the suburbs are right there, and all of a sudden, rhythm and blues was happening. There was this disc jockey. Some of you may remember him. His name was Alan Freed. He was in Cleveland, Ohio, and he is credited with coining the phrase rock and roll. And rock and roll was everything the suburban 1950s were not. While parents of that decade were listening to Frank Sinatra, big bands, Nat King Cole and Johnny Mathis, their children were getting it on with a new beat. In fact, to the horror of the older generation, the children were twisting, thumping, doing everything. Let me say this again. Twisting, thrusting, bumping, and grinding to the sounds of rock and roll and rhythm and blues. And in the early 80s, be speeding forward here, another form emerged from the inner cities called rap and hip hop. Ooh. And there are all kinds of rap music going on now. It's even gospel rap music. And today, it too has spread, yes, not just to the suburbs, but around the entire world. And as I matured, I too grumbled with my children and said stuff like, oh, if they could just stop with this rap music, what is that? Just like our parents or grandparents grumbled about rock and roll. And I thought, I will never do that. And I did. I sure did. I went storming down in the basement, take that off, carrying on. But I just couldn't take it. So it wasn't that pleasing. But to our younger generation, new music, new rhythms, new beats, new lyrics, it speaks to them. They're younger, and they too are emerging. And although we have magnificent creations, we have developed multiple forms of music, genres, and instruments. If we listen, we can observe music even outdoors. The birds, the water's waves, the ripples, even our body have a natural rhythm. It soothes us, but particularly a mother when she is carrying her child. The baby's in the womb and are introduced to a steady rhythm they hear. Mommy's heartbeat. Right away, they're introduced, before they pop out into the world, to rhythm. And that rhythm, they get one of their own. And that rhythm carries us all for our entire lives. Oh, rhythm is in you. You cannot get rid of it. If that rhythm were to stop, you would completely stop. So music touches the soul. It moves the body. It goes beyond our consciousness and lodges in our subconscious. There it merges with us and we yield. We yield to it. We are both possessed and the possessor. So what is it that we are melding with? Well, I can remember a song, as I move to my close, by a rhythm and blues group. It's the OJs. And they sang in perfect harmony why they love music. No, I will not sing it. But some of you may remember, I love music. Okay, the OJs, they sang that. And I believe the entire song is equated to love. Can it be that the magic of music is the love that it invokes? Can it be that music has always been the answer? Can it be true that what the world needs now is love, sweet love? It's the only thing there's just too little of? Won't you join with me and let the music of love wash over you and bring you peace and joy? May it be so. Amen and Ashe. Just one more thing. See, right before I came up, someone came over and whispered something to me. Could you please say this after your message? Okay, here I am. Sing Fest Sisters, please join us in the Wesley Room in the Community Hall immediately after service. Thank you so much.
Choose your earworm and make sure it's a song that nourishes your soul. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back whole. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. Keep a song in your heart, let it be a key to your soul. Let it open you wide and bring you back to whole. And bring you back to whole. And bring you back to whole.
The rosebud on the altar today honors Benjamin, born January 19th, 2024, to Jacqueline and Hilberto, the firstborn. He bundled in at 8 pounds. So Allendale congratulates and blesses the entire family. Also, we have Kairos Bakery right outside in the narthex that are selling scones. The scones are maple pecan and cherry vanilla. So after service, if you would like to buy a scone, they are out there. Also, if you love music and you loved what the pastor is saying today, I encourage you to come next week when we are doing our Sunday, February 4th, the Color Purple Sunday. We will be taking music from The Color Purple and talking about the power and journey towards understanding compassion and love. It is a beautiful musical. I cried my eyes out watching it. So please join us next week for Color Purple Sunday. And then I have 2 dates just for you to save the date. The gas plant redevelopment City Hall meeting, February 6th at 5 p.m. This is a critical meeting for the redevelopment of that area. And then also on, some people call it Valentine's Day, we will also be having our Ash Wednesday services.
at 6 p.m. here in the sanctuary, or if you want to do some drive-by ashes before you go to work, from 9:30 to 10:30 in the Circle Drive, we will have drive-by ashes. Thank you.
She's the queen of the neighborhood. Well, I got news for you. She is. They say she's a punk, but I know she is my best friend, yeah. Rebel girl, rebel girl, rebel girl, you are the queen of my world. Rebel girl, I know I wanna take you home, I wanna try on your clothes, love you like a sister, always soul sister, rebel girl, come and be my best friend, really rebel girl. I really like you, I really wanna be your best friend, be my revolution.
Well, now there's a tough act to follow. Receive the benediction. Go forth accompanied by the magic of music, who unravels the ways of the wicked, dissolves the logic of evil, lures us to our own healing, that we might be compassion embodied, living songs rushing forth, refreshing and free.
Now receive this blessing. May God go before you to defend you, and go behind you to protect you. Go beneath you to withhold you, rest above you to bless you, and dwell within you to comfort you, now and forever. Go in peace. Amen. And I believe Girls Rock has one more song for us as we leave.
Before that, I wanted to give some love to the inventor of rock and roll, who we give a big shout out to in our camp song, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. So during that time, when we say that, I would like to have all of you say her name with us. Get up and dance, have fun, and here we go. We've been rocking out all week, throwing sunshine, not shade, 'cause we're all queens. But this is more than just a summer thing. Together forever, girls rock St. Pete. I know that it's hard sometimes to be yourself and speak your mind, but you know that it'll be alright, because you got me by your side. Powerful women, we blow people's minds. When we're together, we will rise. Be who you wanna be in the Girls Rock Camp family. Created rock 'cause she's on a roll, taking back what they stole. Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta, Sister Rosetta. We believe our voices need to be amplified. We believe in shining with our creative minds. We believe in standing up for our own rights. We believe that history is made by you and I. Powerful women, we blow people's minds. When we're together, we will rise. Be who you wanna be in the Girls Rock Camp family.